Let's check in with my
Let's
friend
go full
Michael.
screen as well, by the way.
Yeah, we're gonna go check in with Michael. He's pissed about something.
Yeah.
Anthony Cumia is doing his thing, and he did Nick Fuentes' assassination attempt. So he's talking about that.
Listen, at the end of the day, guys, like, I don't agree with him politically, Nick Fuentes, but doxing somebody at the end of the day just because they're trying to, like, get a bunch of people, fucking millions of people killed all the time, every single day, it's just a little too far for me. Sorry. Call me crazy. At the end of the day.
At the end of the day. All right, here we go, everybody.
Day, I mean, come on, it's a bridge too far.
That pause is one of my greatest pauses ever.
Or at least that's what they claim.
God, he looks good.
It's shocking to me that people like Nick Fuentes have their fucking address up online. You know what I mean? That shit's not happening all the time. I don't, that's just shocking to me. Why does that happen all the time to somebody like that? Why isn't someone always trying to kill him? Anyways.
One thing in mind as we go over Uncut's list tonight. This list is a multi-music genre list. You're going to have jazz artists on this list, hip-hop, rap artists with more bling than sing. So what I want to do is...
With more bling than sing, Chris.
More bling than sing?
I prefer sing.
Well, with my music, it depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about my jewelry, I want more bling than sing.
Yeah.
If we're talking about my music, I would like more sing than bling. Most definitely. The bling doesn't really matter to me. I'm listening to it. Unless the bling is crystals that I put onto my fucking cords to make the fidelity extra super special. By the way, Bryan, I don't know how to pull this up. People sent this to me on Instagram. A bunch of people sent it to me. It's this guy listening to the Dire Straits' Money for Nothing on this hi-fi setup. If anybody can find a link to that video, a way that we can watch it here on stream, please.
I hate Dire Straits too. Ugh.
Buddy, it's really a funny video. It's really a funny video.
Focus on the classic rock acts on this list, the albums that are on this list, and compare them to, say, other classic rock albums higher on the list. And let's see where we go from there. All right, so before I get started, I'm going to pin in the corner here a list for you to peruse as I go through.
Helpful,
This guy's a pro. He's a pro. Yeah, I've seen every American Dad episode. So I absolutely have seen that. American Dad, fantastic show. Still going strong as well, by the way. I just watched a recent episode lately, like a couple weeks ago. Still very, very funny.
I'm going to tell you one thing right now. If Michael Noland says one wrong word about meta modern sounds in country music, I will find him and threaten him.
Bryan, stop saying
list. Now,
can you stop saying stuff that is going to actually and doing stuff that will actually get us kicked off of Twitch, please?
I'm fucking grieving.
Yeah. Please. And Bryan's apology video, fucking 3 days from now on YouTube with serious music in the background. Like, what you have to understand is human emotions are complicated. And I made a mistake, and I own that now. I'm imagining Bryan making an earnest apology video.
Not be in sync with what I'm actually going over here. That's just for your reference.
Lauren Hill,
and you can always back up if you miss one when it occasionally moves. All right, so first of all, when I looked at this list, I couldn't help but be absolutely flabbergasted.
That's one of my favorite albums of all time is on there. Can you pause it? One of my favorite albums on there, it's not going to be one of his favorite albums, but I truly think is one of the great albums, one of the great hip-hop albums of all time is GZA, Liquid Swords. I love Liquid Swords, and I know that's like a real, that's a pretty fucking pedestrian opinion to have, but it is fantastic album. And Oh yeah, Blur, love Blur as well.
Also, New York Dolls. I love that album.
I've said this. I went and saw The Genius at Richards on Richards in Vancouver, though, and I was so excited because he was doing a tour playing Liquid Swords front to back, and it was the worst fucking show I've ever seen. The DJ was terrible. He was fucking phoned the whole thing in. It was just awful. It was so disappointing, but still one of my favorite albums. Yeah.
Funniest stories ever. Eric Peacock, he hosts Soundtracker. He was on the show. He was on the Horror Guys episode.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
He went and saw Dead Prez, and he was like excited to get to go see Dead Prez at a small club over here. But the main guy from Dead Prez was like not into doing the Dead Prez stuff anymore. He's into fitness.
Yeah.
So he was like up on stage doing like push-ups and stuff like that.
So he was like, I'll come to the show, but I'm gonna do my fitness stuff that I'm into now. And they're like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool. Just like come on stage. And he's like, I'm gonna do fitness. I'm not into music anymore at all. I'm like totally into fitness. They're like, no, it's cool. Just come on stage.
Well, it'd be very funny. For me, that's funny. Like if I went to it, I would like it. I think there's like a threshold of like amounts of shows you've been to, where it's like if you've been to like hundreds of shows, and you've performed in shows and you've done all that stuff, it's so much better to get a terrible show than it is to get like a mediocre, boring show.
I think, I agree. To have like a fucking train wreck of a show is always better, but I think it depends on like, I wanted a good show of Liquid Swords like that night. You know what I mean? I was like a big fan of the album, and I was like, I would like to see it performed live and like in a good way. And I would have been, so I was really looking forward to it a lot.
Yeah, I'm a New York Dolls fan. If we're talking all the people on here, big huge fan of the New York Dolls.
500th pick.
Bruce Springsteen.
Take a look at this.
Let's see.
Crosby, Stills, Nash, 1969. You know what? This album is a rock masterpiece and would easily be in my top 30, possibly top 25 albums of all time.
And it's 500?
Now, a lot of people will claim that Deja Vu with Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young was a better album.
I would literally never claim that.
A lot of people will claim that these types of lists are totally arbitrary and meaningless, and therefore
to make guys like you mad.
Some people will say that a list like this is specifically meant to upset somebody who has hair caves like mine. Like somebody is tapped into my brain and they've decided to make me mad.
And phonically it was, but this album, the material on this album, actually
phonics are not, it's sonically, not phonically, but okay,
weaves the listener a magic spell. I can't imagine this album being 500 on any list, to tell you the truth.
No way.
Is that true?
The OC's on there?
Is the OC's on there, really?
This list fucking rips.
Yeah, it's a good list if it has the OC's on there, really.
I think I like this list.
A magic spell. I can't imagine this album being 500 on any list, to tell you the truth.
I went and saw
but it gets worse than that. How about the...
Well, big deal. I did too.
I've seen him a bunch.
I actually didn't see him because they played at the Alrosa Villa, which is like a little further away, and where Dimebag Darrell got killed. So.
There's Kurt Vile as well.
Yep, Smoke Ring for My Halo. That's a good album.
For My Halo is a really good album. Yeah,
I mean, banger.
John Lennon. Oh yeah. I see people fucking taking photos at it. It's like all day long. All day long.
You're a big fan of Grimes.
I'm a huge fan of Grimes. I mean, I got into her music through when she was married to the guy who was a guy who I'm a big fan of through different stuff. But anyway.
All right. Now, Let It Be may not be one of their top 4 or even 5 albums, but it certainly would rank as maybe their 6th.
Fugazi, not good, but I'm giving them. This is a good list. I think I like
best,
this list.
7th best album, and we're still talking about Beatle albums that are
Tim Buckley,
masterpieces.
Happy Sad. That's a
Beatle
good album as well. I love that album, Tim Buckley, Happy Sad. I'm not joking. I used to listen to that like for one summertime. I listened to that album nonstop. Oh, Low is on there. This is a good and eclectic list that has like a lot of sort of, you know, yeah, Outcast, obviously, Speakerbox, Love Below.
Scroll through too. Michael's got to scroll through them. Like, oh, I don't know that one. Don't know that one.
I'm not a big Doors fan personally.
Oh, how dare you?
I don't like the Doors really. I think the Doors.
You say you live on Love Street.
I think the Doors is kind of like music for kids.
Oh,
that's what I like. That's kind of what I feel like. But I'm sorry. That's a rude thing to say.
I see you live on Love Street.
Yeah.
There's a store where the creatures meet. I wonder what they do in there.
Who else? Oh, and there's Fugazi. Fugazi on there.
Masterpiece.
Call me back
at the number 496 position. A slap in the face if there ever was.
Good.
Of course, Randy Newman is on the wrong list. He shouldn't even be up here as far as I'm concerned. Not a Newman fan. But Bruce Springsteen, Born in the USA, at number, 493. All right? Now, first of all, I know
Wu-Tang. Well, there's Wu-Tang. Enter the 36 Chambers is on there, obviously, which is...
Gotta be honest with you. The other one's better. Reunited.
Oh, I don't think so. I prefer Liquid Swords.
Wu-Tang Forever. I'm sorry, Wu-Tang Forever.
Yeah, Wu-Tang Forever. Both of them good albums. I love, Wu-Tang Clan really good, but
Wu-Tang Forever's better. Everybody agree with me.
Himself from this album, and the in crowd of Bruce Springsteen fans often won't bring this album up much either. Just like David Bowie fans don't have a whole lot of love.
He sings one of my favorite songs, Willie Nelson. It's not his song. Obviously, most of his good songs aren't his songs, you know?
That's okay.
Always on My Mind, Willie Nelson's rendition of Always on My Mind is one of my favorite songs. I'm
going to turn into Michael Noland. Now, Neutral Milk Hotel, 1998, very good album. Should be higher on the list as it is only gained in popularity over the decade.
I was obsessed with that album and listened to it every single day and wanted to see him perform live. And
I did see him perform live.
Yeah, I know.
The first concert my daughter ever saw was Neutral Milk Hotel.
I know, that's so cool. My first concert ever was The Strokes. Not bad. Outdoor at the Plaza of Nations in Vancouver, The Strokes, not bad.
Mine was cooler because it was Korn. But
yeah. The Strokes is not bad though for a first concert ever, you know?
I'm done with this guy.
I'm Michael Noland tonight.
The guy from Breaker High, who's very famous, Tyler something. He's an actor.
Creator?
I've said this many times. He's from a bunch of movies. He was on Breaker High with Ryan Gosling. But anyways, we were all drunk at the Strokes concert and we wouldn't leave the poor guy alone. Tyler Labine, his name is, really nice guy, really funny. And we were just like, BH, Breaker High. Really fucking just awful pieces of shit.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil guy.
Yeah. He's from Tucker and Dale versus Evil. He's great. He's fucking
How'd
fantastic.
You like that? Oh, we already talked about it, so now we can't talk about it on here.
What?
Superman. How excited we are for Superman.
Yeah, we are pretty excited about it.
We're going
to be talking about 3 classic rock albums. And of course, those albums are going to be
I love
Deep
Fleetwood
Purple's,
Mac.
Wonderful
Bryan,
new album released earlier this year.
Because I was thinking about this might be a fun. I was actually thinking about my. I was just walking and I was like, I wonder what my desert rock discs would be. My desert island disc. Like, what would be my top? What would be?
I'm going back here then.
What would be your 5 desert island discs, Bryan? What would you bring to your desert island?
Are you seriously asking?
Yeah,
me? Or are you gonna go like as soon as I start saying, you're gonna be like,